Hello there. My name is Em, and I would like to welcome you to this Nautical Twist episode. So I got my hair looking a little crazy today. But hello. Today I do have my tea this time. I feel like I have taken enough vitamin C to be able to exist a little while without being too worried about sinus problems. So today I do have my tea. Yes, I would like to welcome you to this Nautical Twist episode. Um, for this episode, it's funny because the topic I want to talk about is actually related to the extreme brightness of the shirt that I'm wearing. So it was interesting when I was like just going through, I was just making sure to count the number of episodes I've done so far. And I was realizing that I was wearing a lot of super bright colors. And for me, it was an interesting trigger moment because I was then remembering how growing up, a lot of the time, particularly in high school, I almost always wore black. And well, I'm not the kind of person for me, like clothes don't mean that much beyond just like coverage. Like I don't think every color has to mean anything or anything like that. But there was a time in my life where me wearing black meant something, and it meant that I was in that place where I know a lot of people can relate, likely, most likely, but I just was so self-conscious and so unsure about myself, and I found myself wearing a lot of. I wear so much black, just kind of wanting to not even blend in as much as because I gave up on that, but just hide. I wanted to hide. And for me, wearing the color black was a way to hide. And I just remember anytime I could, like it just helped me feel a little bit more locked up into my world, kind of safe and sound. And it's interesting because I've remembered like that tricky part, that tricky time going through and remembering that time wearing all that black when there was a reason why I was wearing it. And then now seeing like, oh my gosh, I wear so many bright colors. I've worn bright colors for a long time now. And I don't go out choosing bright colors, but I think the fact that I considered something other than black, for me, it was interesting to see a more like visual, symbolic change. And so it was interesting. Like, I don't know if, I'm hoping this makes sense, but I think sometimes for when we've overcome something, sometimes there is that subtle symbolic change that takes place that like it's like, oh, like yeah, like, or I mean some people might associate it with a certain haircut. Like for example, like what I remember myself one time having a really short pixie cut after I gave up on trying to have healthy hair. And in going through that change, it was like very symbolic moment for me to like just be like, no more, I'm not depending on having long hair to be a way to like feel like I am beautiful or seeing my own beauty. And then it's interesting to see that as well with the colors. And again, like I even now I'll wear black. Like I got a really nice black dress I love to wear, but it means something different now. And I think it's cool to go from something that used to mean something very dark and like almost just very dark symbolism to then suddenly just owning it and rocking it for all it's worth. And to like look back on that, I think is very powerful. And then also a reminder of like our continued growth as well. Like what other symbolic changes might I see for myself in the future that I just might pick up on a little bit here and there. So I wanted to ask you if you are comfortable sharing, or maybe just for your own like thoughts and reflections, what are some subtle symbolic changes that you have seen over time, just to see like that subtle growth in life, or maybe it's extreme growth? I would just like to pose that question. You are more than welcome to leave any questions and comments down below. You know, I'd love to hear from you. But I just want to kind of throw that thought out there. If there's like just any little subtle changes. Again, I know a common thing I know, especially like if you've gone through like a breakup and stuff like that, I know something very common and get that haircut or something like that, like working out more, kind of getting more fit and like kind of feeling that more ownership of our lives and of our destiny, and not allowing ourselves to wallow away and feel passive, especially in a situation where it's very easy to feel bad for ourselves and kind of get stuck in that rut. Like that symbolic sign of like proactively going after life, not settling for less of ourselves, like realizing that we are so much more than what we currently think we are. Yeah, so that was, I hope that made sense. I didn't sleep that much last night, but no excuse. I got my tea here. Just a boring black tea. But I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you. I will be back tomorrow with another episode. So please, in the meantime, stay safe and healthy. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye for now.